only ballpark where we are identified as Mr. But it's nice to be. It's okay, Bruce. We love you. This is all-time call. All right, we won't mention it then.
In the meantime, Bob, have you ever seen so many receivers so wide open as they are here? It seems that the Ertl Jack and just wait for the football. They've been open all afternoon.
Well, both Belisarios and Ertl Jack.
Right. Driving all the way down. Oh, my goodness, he might have gotten in. No, not quite.
Football, he is at the 1 and a first down.
And he took that big Duquesne line right on his back, Bob, and he actually dragged him down to the 1-yard line. So it's first and goal. The Raiders at the Duquesne 1-yard line, maybe inside the 1.
Well, you might as Riverview.
Kappa's got it.
Is up now by 2 touchdowns.
How about this?
13-0 lead.
Well, it's real early, Bob, and I'll tell you what, if this score stands, it'll shock the entire scholastic world in the state of Pennsylvania, I'll guarantee. Team zip the Raiders.
Belisario will kick the extra point. And Brother Charles will. And the kick is through the uprights, right through.
Look out, Gary, for sure, Bob. Oh, my.
Only 52 seconds remain in the first quarter. And the Raiders will be kicking off. Well, next week, we may as well let you know, folks, we'll be over at Springdale. And Chuck Wagner, whose team plays at the same time, is going on, and his team is 3-0. They play Greensburg on the road today. Should Springdale go on and win it, can you imagine? Two local teams at 4-0?
But I really don't think it's going to have an effect on the crowd, Bob. When these two teams get together, particularly with a good record, they're both going to go in with a good record. I'll tell you, you better get down there early next week. Pittsburgh Street may never be the same.
Belisario will kick off for the Raiders, and Riverview in the lead. And this is a powerhouse Duquesne team that they're playing today. Here is Belisario's kick, and another one, a beauty. Down to the 1, it's fumbled, it's picked up at the 2, and the official said
into the end zone.
That he was in the end zone. It is another touchback. Great kick by Belisario.
Goodness. Hang in there, Orlando.
5 for 5, Riverview in the airwaves in that first quarter. And 71 yards on 5 passes. Comes out of the huddle, and they're ready to go now at the tail end of quarter number 1. Here is Cook throwing, and it is caught. And with the football is Rocco Scott. The first Duquesne first down of the afternoon at the 33, and Kappa makes the play at the 33. Pass caught by Rocco Scott. And at the 33, picks up 13 yards. Duquesne's first down of the day. Late here in this opening quarter. The clock's still running. Play of the first quarter. Cook gives to Demetrius Demery. Maurice Demery. Kappa comes up and makes the play at the 34, so only a yard on the play. So the Raiders have a first quarter lead of 7-0. Bob Tattern with Joe Falsetti here at Riverside Park in Oakmont. We'll come back with second quarter activity right after this.
Y'all ready for this?
All right, we're back at Riverside Park here in Oakmont. Duquesne and Riverview going at it. Here I am, 14-0 Riverview as we get set to start quarter number 2. Regardless of the outcome of this game, Jay Kappa has sure put together one heck of a ball club here in '94. Duquesne with the football now. They have it second down and 9.
Second down and 9.
The ball is resting at the Duquesne 34-yard line.
34 of the
All right, we're ready to go as Baleo Cook is the quarterback. Matt Tater, the front man in the eye. They hand it off, and going off the right side is Maurice Demery, and he's not going to get very much. So it'll be a gain of, well, let's give him a 2-yard gain. Third down.
Third down and 7.
Ball at the Duquesne 36. Big down here for the Dukes. The football. They're at their own 36. Baleo Cook, the quarterback. He's back. He's rolling out, looking. Baleo Cook is being chased. Kappa is chasing him. And whoa, what a tackle down there by Faceros. Number 73. Oh, my goodness. Theo Faceros made the stop back at the 20-yard line. A loss way back there. What, about 16 yards? So it's going to be fourth down. I think they got to get to Verona here, Bub, to make the first down. And it's going to be James Kovar kicking. Oh, what a kick. What a kick. Is Ertl-Jack going to pick it up? Now he does. And down he goes at about the 28-yard line. Well, that's the first bad play that the Raiders have made here this afternoon. They didn't look too good on that one. The ball rolls all the way down. 7. So it'll be first and 10 for the Raiders at their own 27-yard line. 14-0. You heard me. 14-zip. The Raiders on top. Duquesne coming in here just figuring, well, we'll just get over this week and look ahead to the next week. But they're down 2 touchdowns to the Raiders. Kappa set to go. Hands off. And going around the left side and getting decent yardage over there is number 27, Steve Dapras. And he's stopped by Davidson, but a pickup like 6 or 7 yards. Let's call it a long 6. It'll be second down.
Second down and 4.
And a short 4 for the Raiders. They have the football at the 33-yard line of Duquesne. And so far, we have seen a shocker. Kappa, hands off. Oh, here comes Graham. Graham cuts in at the 50, the 45. His knee hit the ground at about the 46-yard line. Good run that time. 21 yards for Justin. First and 10, the Raiders.
Joe, that's the first time that Graham's had the football today.
Boy, well, I'll tell you what, it won't be the last after that run.
21 yards.
Mm.
Well, they're up for the game, Joe.
That's obvious, Bob. All right, 14 has got his team ready. Kappa. And here's a reverse. Oh, down it goes at number 15. That was Rocco Scott. My goodness, it looked as though he was in the backfield for that play. Way his own 46.
Down at 20.
Boy,
44.
Talk about a loss. Well, actually, it's at the 44-yard line. It's about almost a 10-yard loss. So let's call it second and 20. The ball resting at the Riverview 44-yard line. Sends a man in motion. That's Depra. He is looking, chased out of the pocket. Kappa. No, he did not step out of bounds. I thought he did, but, or did he? Well, they're over here discussing this. It was incomplete in either case.
First incompletion of the day.
And the ball is going to be spotted right at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 20 for...
And 20.
This time, decent coverage for the Dukes.
Joe, had that pass been completed, I think he may have been over the line of scrimmage and throwing it.
Might have been. Well, they were looking at it. That might have been another reason. All right, here's Jeff Kappa, set to go. He's straight back, looking, throwing a long pass. He's got Depra out there, and it's going to be intercepted, I believe. I think Maurice Demery. Yep. Maurice Demery intercept. Own 31-yard line.
Eight minutes left in the first half.
That was, correction error, that was Bruce Davidson that intercepted, not Demery. Their own 31-yard line. So 1st and 10, Duquesne from their own 31. Malayo Cook at quarterback. Matt Taylor and Demery. In the eye, there is a flag on the play.
Too much time. Yes. Penalty against the Dukes.
I don't know what to call it.
It's a 5-yard penalty against Duquesne. It'll put the ball back at the 26-yard line. So it'll be 1st down, 15 yards to go for Duquesne at their own 26-yard line. They're trailing the Raiders of Riverview 14. Cook. A delayed draw, and going nowhere is Demery. He's gang tackled. Thesaurus is there. Number 10.
Raiders, number 74.
Is that 18 there? So in either case, it's a loss. And it's going to be second. Well, let's see, 18 yards to go here for a 1st down. Ball is spotted at the 23. Clock is moving. It's the 6.5-minute mark. Coming out wide to the near side, Bruce Davidson. I formation. Taylor and Demery in the eye. Here's a pitch back to Demery. He cuts inside, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Hit and dropped. Justin Graham was there, the principal tackler for the Raiders, and that'll put the Dukes in a punting situation there as Duquesne. Number 7, Maurice Demery, is limping off the field, and that's the reason for the timeout by the officials. Demery limping off the field. They could ill afford to lose that guy. 6'1", 195, a good one. About 14, 15 yards to go. 6 minutes remaining. The clock starts. Ball at the 26.
Now, I don't know if that takes away their draw, but on this play, you would think that they would have to pass.
I would think so. Coming out of the huddle and looking to pick up a 15-yard play here to pick up a 1st down. There is another whistle. Another whistle.
By the way, Braxton.
So another 5-yard penalty against the Dukes. So it's back at the 20.
Duquesne.
6 penalties for all small ones, right, Bob? 5 yards of variety.
Yeah, the only long one was against the Raiders.
Right. clipping penalty. All right, the ball is resting at the Duquesne 21-yard line. It's 3rd and about 19. The Dukes need a big play here to hold on to the football. The Raiders would love to stop them and get pretty decent field position. Clock is moving. We're down to 5 minutes remaining in the half. Cook looks, a lateral pass off to the right side, and they get something going here. Did not pick up the first down. I think it's somewhere around the 38 or 39-yard line. That's Bruce Davidson. And they're going to come up about 2 or 3 yards short.
Joe, they gained 18 on that play.
Whether or not they want to gamble here, I don't think if you're down by 14, you could be clean out of the game here if you miss it, but
4th and 2. Yeah.
And about 2.
And I think a timeout is going to be called. They want to talk this one over. The Dukes have called the timeout, and we'll be back with more high school football right after this. Well, the Dukes are huddled around their coach over there, Bob. They're trying to figure out what kind of a play do they have in their repertoire to pick up a couple of yards. That's what they need. 2. More importantly, the ball is at their own 39-yard line, maybe even closer to the 38.
And Riverview holds on to a 2-touchdown lead.
Right. I think the official coming over to indicate to Coach timeout remaining. So, biggest play of the day, particularly for the Dukes. 4th and a couple from their own 39. All right, here we go. They're not going to go for it. They're going to punt the football. James Kovar.
Kovar, the boot the ball.
And he is going to kick it. Good kick. It's going to be taken by Jack looking for room, picks up a block, picks up another block. And there's a flag over there. It came about 5 minutes late. But there is a flag over there at about the 32-yard line. So a good run back. Going to bring it back. My goodness. So they'll bring this one back. Another clip. That is the second clipping call against the Raiders.
Clipping penalty against the Raiders. The Riverview will take the ball back.
Instead of having the ball at the Duquesne 40, probably at around their own 15 or 18-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. That's going to be play line. Yep, that's where they put it. So it'll be 1st and 10. The Raiders from their own 17.
Got to watch here you don't make any turnover mistakes.
4:34 remaining in the first half. And a couple of first downs here could run out the clock in the first half, and the Raiders could go and shock everybody. All right, here we go. Handoff. Cut inside. Dapra breaks one tackle, can't break another. He gets across the 20 to about the 23, and he picks up about 6 yards. Stopped by number 30, Matt Taylor. Now also helping out. So it'll be a gain of what? 6 yards? 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Good crowd on hand for this one. Why not? A number 1 team, undefeated Riverview. If you like high school football, this is the place to be. And here is Kappa. He's chased out of the pocket, throws, got his man at about the 33-yard line. Good for the first down. Number 80 there for the reception. Got the reception and the first down.
Kappa to Kappa.
I thought that was Belisario that got that one. Well, in any event.
But it is a first down.
1st and 10.
Riverview vaulting on the 32.
32-yard line.
That was a 9-yard pass play, Joe.
That if they keep the football with under 3.5 remaining. Here's Kappa on the keeper. Kappa at the 40 to 50. Kappa run out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And he's run out of bounds by Cook, but not until he gets the first down at the Duquesne 42-yard line.
26 yards on that carry.
Goodness.
18 and 8. That's what, 26? I did say 20.
You know, Jake Kappa, the coach, Bob, knew what he was talking about. He says, all things being equal, if we do what we're supposed to do, we may have a chance in this game. And so far, so good.
Kappa, the quarterback, 3 carries, 31 yards.
All right, Jeff Kappa ready. Fakes, looks, throws, got a man out. Hurdle Jack down at about the 25-yard line, incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:12. Robinson, I guess maybe is in there now with the score being what it is. I guess Coach Pat Monroe figures maybe get him in there. He might change things a little bit. All right, here's Jeff Kappa ready to go. Kappa on the draw. Gives off. There's Dapra. Dapra in. Going to be stopped by Robinson. He's going to be close to the first down at about the 32 or 33-yard line. Let's see where they spot it.
Short.
A little bit short. All right. It's third down. Third and about 1. So Dapra. Tell me the correct pronunciation. Dapra or Dapra? What is it?
Long A, Dapra.
Long A. All right. Sorry about that. As outstanding as this youngster has been, no one should make a mistake. All right, here we go. Third and about 1. And there's a 5-yard call against Tavon McMillan. Jumped a little bit too soon. It'll cost them 5 and give the Raiders a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
That's 8 first downs for Riverview. 8.
First down for the Raiders of Riverview.
That's a chunk.
2 minutes and 15 seconds, and the clock is moving. The Raiders at the 27-yard line. That Jack split wide. There's a pass, and it's a little bit short, incomplete. Kappa had Jack out there, but just through that one just a little bit. It falls incomplete.
5 in the second quarter. 5 for 5 in the first quarter.
Right. So the Raiders trying to get another one here. They're down, of course, with that golden toe that he has. I don't know. He might be just.
How'd you know what color it was? Huh?
I got a little news for you. It's gold as far as I'm concerned. And a draw right up the middle, up across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Graham stopped by Rodney Ewer. About the 24-yard line. Third and about 6. So let's see what the Raiders do here. They need 6 for the first down, and just wondering how far they have to go. Go in for a field goal try. Here's Kappa looking, throwing, and it's complete. How about that at the 16-yard line? What a grab. Dapra. At the 6 and 10.
Well, that's 7 yards on that pass.
So the Raiders on the march at the 17 of Duquesne. They're leading 14-0, and we're as shocked as you are. Yep. IL trailing. Here's Dapra off the right side, gets inside the 15-yard line. And, well,
could have been a flag.
Could have been. Davis was there.
Might send some frustration sitting in about now. Huh?
Number 66 is the guy that made the stop. I think 18.
Second and 8.
All right, it's a 2nd down and 8. Clock is moving. We're down to 52 seconds. 52 seconds remaining in the first half. The Raiders, 2nd down and about 8 at the 15 of Duquesne. Here's Kappa. Oh, what a good defensive play down there.
A beautiful defensive move.
Made a good play in the end zone. It falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 8. So let's see what happens here now, as that pass, I believe, was intended for Jason Kappa in the end zone. 3rd. So Jeff Kappa over here on the sideline talking to his coach, who just happens to be his dad as well. And here is Jeff Kappa on the keeper. He is going to fumble the ball out of side the 10 to about the 8. That was a good, smart move there.
Oh, come on, Joe.
I mean, it turned out good. Let's put it that way.
You were making the tackle, driving him out of bounds.
Well, they'll spot it at the 9. And maybe the field goal unit coming in here as the Raiders take a timeout. And if I had a toe like Belisario, I might give it a shot, too.
30-some seconds remaining.
Just 30 on the nose. 30 on the nose.
30 on the nose?
Right.
I don't know if it was 38 or 30, but...
Well, they got it right, well... They got it here at the near side hash mark.
4th down and 3.
Just inside the 10-yard line, close to the 9. Might be Belisario time here. We'll wait and see what Coach Kappa decides. He's in the middle of that huddle with him.
That has been my unofficial residence now for... I'm looking at the picture on the monitor, Joe, just in case.
That's right. Okay. Well, Coach Kappa.
My home away from home.
Here we go. Yep. It looks like Orlando Belisario is going to... They're going to try this one from about the 18-yard line. It'll be about a 27 or 28-yard kick. It's up, and it looks good to me. It is. What a lovely kick. Boy, this... Tell you what, you got to get the location of Lloyd's in London, Bob, or at least get their phone number.
What yardage did you give on that one, Joe?
I think it was about a 27. Let's give him 27. It could have been 28.
Field goal by
Orlando Belisario gets the field goal, and with 26 seconds remaining, Riverview 17, Duquesne nothing. You heard it right. 17-0 Riverview.
Well, they held on to the ball
for a little over 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. Duquesne's in shock. I'm serious.
They have to be.
I mean, they're just looking at one another and just wondering, can this be? It is.
And Kappa, the quarterback of the team in your picture there, looking for some liquid refreshment here in the sideline.
He deserves it.
Well, Belisario is responsible for 5 of those 17 points.
Orlando Belisario getting set to kick off. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's got one whale of a toe, this young man, and Davidson is going to be hit, slowed up, and finally gang tackled at about the 33-yard line, led by Orlando Belisario. All right. That took about 8 seconds. We're down to 18 seconds remaining in the first half. 18 seconds remaining in the half. And the clock is moving. I don't know that they realize that the clock is moving. They're not going to get a playoff. No, they don't even want to get a playoff. I think they're ready to go. Their heads are down, Bob. They can't wait to get to that dressing room. 17-0 Riverview at the half.
We'll be back right after this with the Riverview Band.
Today, corporate and executive America demand the most exacting secretarial skills. Thorough and qualified instruction from the New Kensington Commercial School will prepare you to achieve this level of responsibility.
Would you please go to your bus and move it?
At halftime, the Riverview Raiders with a surprising 17-0 lead. And we're totaling up. And following the Riverview Band presentation, we'll present those to you. Right now, we're getting set to enjoy the music of the Riverview Marching Band here in a beautiful, sunshiny Saturday afternoon at the park. And here they come. fine performance by the Riverview band here at halftime, and the Raiders with a surprising 17-0 lead. Halftime statistics are brought to you by John's Auto Sales, located on Route 28 in Natrona Heights. If you're looking for a new set of wheels or at John's Auto Sales, over 17 years in the business, makes John's Auto tough to beat. Round-trip messenger service to Harrisburg is available too. So come on over and check out the price, kick the tires, look at the warranty and the service you'll get at John's Auto Sales, Old Route 28 in Natrona Heights. Well, let's take a look at downs clearly in favor of the Raiders, 10-1. Duquesne actually lost rushing in that first half, partially because of that big sack that they had, Joe. Who made the tackle for Riverview on that play, do you recall? Theo Ficaris. I think it was a big 6. Nonetheless, they're down by 7 in the rushing department. They completed both of their thrown passes for 31 yards, and if it weren't for that, it would have been total disaster. So Duquesne net yardage in the first half, 24. Riverview, as you can see, total domination with 10 first downs, 93 yards on the ground, 7 of total yards in passing, and 180 overall. Duquesne penalized 6 times for 30 yards. I'm sorry, did I say Duquesne? Penalized 6 times for 30 yards, and Riverview twice for long penalties. Time of possession, almost 2-1. Riverview, 15 minutes and 8. With 8 minutes and 42 seconds. So that's the story, and halftime has been brought to you by John's Auto Sales, located on Old Route 28 in Natrona Heights. I'm Bob Tattern, and with Joe Falsetti, we'll be set to go with the start of our third quarter right after this. The Raiders will kick off to start third quarter activity. And Duquesne down by 17 points. Who would have thunk it, as they say?
Absolutely unbelievable. I went down at halftime, Bob, and mingled with the crowd a little bit and ran into a couple of guys that you think the NBC Peacock is proud? You should have been with these two fellas. Old man Dapra and old man Belisario.
Oh, brother.
I'll tell you what, they'd have made the Peacock look like second rate.
All right.
And can you blame them? No way.
Well, the Raiders in their black and whites are out there, and Duquesne still huddling around head coach Pat Monroe. And Belisario is out there. That's Orlando, the kicker.
He's only a junior, Bob. I look for Lloyd's in London. There's no doubt in my mind, believe me. I insure that baby.
Well, he's ready. Some of the weekend results, if you tune into Comcast, you pick up our live Friday night scoreboard, and finding out that Burrell keeps winning. Valley lost their second game of the year. Fox Chapel lost. Kiscari was a winner. Here's the kick by Belisario, high, short. And this one bobbled at about the 15 and run straight up the field by Robinson.
Ran into his
hard tackle. Yeah, and a hard tackle over there by Sam Geppert. It's marked at the 28-yard line. So we'll start from the 28. Third quarter just underway. And a 17-0 score in favor of Riverview. Cook is the quarterback. Setbacks. The pitch comes to Demery around the right side. Demery shakes a tackler and picks up the first down at his own 40. And Ben Erteljack along with Dapra there on the play, but a first down for Duquesne. Begin to wonder what kind of a halftime session it was. Just how did the coach play it? Read the riot act
Wasn't
or
quiet.
just say, come on, girls.
I wasn't there,
yeah.
but I'm sure it wasn't quiet.
Remember the one that Newt Rockney had where he didn't say anything except, come on, girls, are ready for the third quarter. And that got him charged up. 1st and 10 for Duquesne at their own 40. After that fine run by Demery. This time it goes to the up back. Matt Taylor met at the line of scrimmage by Theo Fakaris. And I should say Jeremy Dujak, number 70, along with Jason Kappa, 85. Oh. But he was hit hard. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Now the receivers, looking back at the quarterback, will have their, they'll be looking into the sun, if that be the case here in period 3. So whatever Duquesne throws in this period, they'll be looking back at the sun. And they're throwing. They're stringing it out. And he's got a first down.
Look at
penalty flag
thrown.
thrown.
See that flag? Now he threw it from the 32-yard line of Riverview to the 35-yard line of Duquesne.
I thought it was a comet.
18 and 15, a 33-yard pass with that flag.
And it went incomplete.
Holding.
Holding against the Raiders of Riverview.
Boy, that was a... The quarterback, by the way, comes up with sizable yardage.
He made a good run and picked up an additional chunk of yards following that penalty.
So they'll march off more yardage, and this game could get interesting real quick. Riverview leads 17-0. We have just started our third quarter. About 2 minutes of play at this point.
And
so
spot the ball at where? The 38?
Roughly the Riverview 38-yard line. So it's a 1st and 10 for Duquesne.
Ball on the 38, first down, Duke.
Here's a pitch to Demery. Spilled by Daper. What a play. No, not Daper. Check that. Rich Walsh. Rich Walsh makes the tackle. And he'll gain about a yard to the 37. Let's make it 2nd down and 9. So 1 yard on that play makes it 2nd and 9. Well, they're taking an awful lot of time, Joe.
Yeah, for a team that's down 17 points, you think it'd speed it up a little bit.
Looking to throw is Cook. Deep.
This one might be intercepted.
Oh,
my goodness.
It is caught inside the 10-yard line, and you thought that ball would have been intercepted. Caught there by Bruce Davidson.
I thought sure Balisario was going to intercept that ball. He had perfect position. But the Dukes come out of there with it. And it's going to be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Braxton leaves the huddle. And again, they're still taking an awful lot of time. The 2 setbacks are Demery and Robinson, 7 and 8. Behind the quarterback, Cook. Whistle.
I think that's going to go against the Raiders.
As the ball was snapped. Remember, it was 1st and goal from the 8. And this will bring it ahead to the 4-yard line. Let's see what the call is here by the official. Offside? No. It's Duquesne, so that takes it back to the 13. 1st and goal from the 13. So who's ever running the railroad should take note. This train's headed in the opposite direction. They've held, I think they're the only team that has held Duquesne without a score in the first half.
First down and 13 yards to the goal.
Well, the movement that I saw, evidently, Riverview saw some movement on the other end.
Brian Davis, the center, out over the ball. Wide pitch to Demery. And Demery is down to about the 11. So he gains 2 on the sweep wide left.
Demery on the...
And Orlando Belisario makes the play. 17-0, Riverview in the lead, but Duquesne threatening here with about 8 minutes left to play in this third period. Second down and goal from the 11-yard line.
The scoreboard clock has first down. It's actually second down. There we go.
Here's the quarterback, Cook, coming to his right. Looks into the end zone, but will not throw. He's down to about the 4 or the 5. Let's mark it at the 5-yard line.
Jeff Kappa and Dujak.
Ball on the 5.
So it's spotted at the 5 with a little under 8 minutes now remaining in this quarter.
Third down and goal from the 5.
Well, Duquesne, if they should happen to get it in for 6, would make this an interesting contest because they are an explosive team. They just haven't been able to get untracked here today. Running out of the eye and a keep by the quarterback, and he's tackled in the background, and a nice play by Justin Graham. Graham brings him down behind the 10-yard line at the 11. A 6-yard loss, and it's now 4th down.
They got to get into the end zone, Bob. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a field goal here.
For the TD.
That particular play, they had all the flow going to the right, and the quarterback would then keep the ball and without any blockers just run left.
Well,
but Justin Graham was there like he had been in the huddle hearing the play.
Yeah, they're going for the touchdown. I thought maybe they might take a shot at a field goal, but nope.
All right, here we go. Cook fires into the end zone and batted away and then caught.
Oh, my.
It was batted into the air and then caught by Rocco Scott, and Duquesne is on the board at about the 7-minute mark of this third quarter. How about that? The ball deflected, and then Scott got his hands on the ball and snared it in for the TD, and Duquesne is on the board for the first time today.
You know what, Bob? You couldn't ask for better coverage. Orlando Belisario was right there and just batted the ball away, and who was waiting on it?
Scott.
Oh, boy. Well, that's the way the ball bounces at times.
They'll go for one with Cook attempting the extra point, and holding is Maurice Demery. The kick.
I think he missed it. Yep, he did.
It is wide to the right, and the score remains 17-6 in favor of Riverview. We'll be back with Duquesne's kickoff after this. Nice to have you folks watching the game here. Duquesne finally gets on the board. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. And a surprise here at Riverside Park with the Raiders in the lead by 11. How much that field goal by Belisario now counts? It was 17-0 at halftime, and Duquesne on us this particular drive. Duquesne sure does take their time.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Goodness.
Sure do.
All right, the deep men for Riverview. Let's see who we've got here. Number 44, Steve Mitchell to the right. No, that's not Mitchell.
Hurdle Jack at 34 is Tamburo, Fritz Tamburo.
Dapra's down the middle, and Fritz Tamburo is number 34. And it looks like Dapra at about the 15-yard line to the 20, 25, 30, cuts inside. Still on his feet at the 35 and stops short of the 40 at about the 37 or 38-yard line. Cook among those in on the tackle along with Braxton.
Braxton and Cook on the tackle.
It's marked at the 38 for the Raiders. I think there was one interception in that first half among the 12 passes thrown by Kappa. He had one that was picked off. Running out of the eye. And Dapra gets the call. No gain on the play. He may have lost a yard, and Rocco Scott lined up there to lead in the tackle. About a yard loss. Back at the 37, 2nd and 11 coming up.
Well, I hate to say it, Bob, it looks like Duquesne's beginning to get a little momentum here, and if they can stop the Raiders on this particular series, why, they could be right back in the ballgame.
Whistle and an official timeout. Somebody for Duquesne is lacing their shoes. And now time is back in. That was the left cornerback over there, Rob Reagan. Kappa to throw. The rush is on. The pursuit is there. Kappa with some speed. Puts the head down. Picks up some yardage. Fumble.
And recovered.
Duquesne has recovered the loose football. That is 2 turnovers today for the Raiders. And Duquesne has it in Riverview territory at about the 43.
Boy, how quickly things can change. Great coverage on a 4th down pass.
Yep.
That tip ball went for a touchdown, and they follow it up, recovering a fumble at the Raiders' 44-yard line, and the Dukes are right back in it.
Duquesne at the Raider 43. Cook has his team set. The pitch and the reverse with the football is Davidson. He's around the left side and picks up about 7 or 8 yards on the sweep inside the 40. Down to about they're going to mark it at the 37. And it was Orlando Belisario, the principal tackler on that play. They're going to mark it at the 38 and call it a 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4 for Duquesne. The Raiders 17, Duquesne 6, 3rd quarter. Duquesne just scored a touchdown. Riverview coming back and then coughing it up with a fumble. Their 2nd turnover of the day, and out of the eye. Cook pitches back, and Demery, that is, Maurice Demery, carries to about the 36-yard line. Got about a yard on the play. And Justin Graham, along with Jeremy Dujak, combined on the tackle. And Theo Fakaris was also there.
I think we have an injury there, Bob.
That's Kappa, number 85.
A little slow getting up.
Defensive captain of the ball club. 3rd down and about 3.
Well, this is 4-down territory, you can be sure.
Especially if you're trailing 17-6.
And you're at the 36-yard line.
From the eye, Cook hands off. They have the 1st down and more. Approaching the 32-yard line. Justin Graham approaching the ball carrier. Braxton on that play. We have an official timeout and injury to the center on this team. That's number 66, Brian Davis, for Duquesne. I believe it's 66 on the ground, being attended to. And it looks like the left leg. We're going to take a commercial pause if we can at this point with an injury timeout on the field. We've got 4:05 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back. Well, it turned out it was the center, and that was Brian Davis, 215 pounds, only a sophomore. He'll have to sit out for at least one play. Sometimes when a new center comes in, there's a problem with an exchange on the snap. Taven McMillan, I believe it is, taking his place. Yeah, number 53.
Taven McMillan into the game.
It looked like there was a slight bobble. Cook throws off balance. Incomplete intended for Rocco Scott. Well covered by the Raiders, and it will go as an incompleted pass. Second down and 10 coming up. Riverview in the lead. 17-6 is the score, third quarter. And Davis back into the ball game. Brian Davis, number 66, back into the game. He's still favoring that
limping a little bit.
Ankle or whatever it might be. Second down and 10 for the white-shirted Duquesne Dukes. Undefeated, untied coming in, as is Riverview. This could be a busted play. Quarterback keeping the football. Penalty flag thrown as Cook runs out of bounds on the far side. The indication is that it is against Duquesne. Now, if Riverview declines, it would bring up 3rd and 10, but we don't know the distance yet. What was the call?
Top block.
Okay.
15 yards.
So they bring it back to the 50.
Three and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter. 17-6. The Raiders on top. Second down and let's see, 5, 10, 15, 17, 27.
Yeah,
Second down and about 27.
Yeah, they got to get to the 23. Bruce Davidson flanked wide to the right. They're going to throw it over the middle and incomplete. And the intended receiver was Rocco Scott.
That's intended for Rocco Scott, but overthrown.
That'll bring up third and long, 3rd and 27. How close was Duquesne before all this?
They were at the 30. They were about the 32, 33-yard line.
Well, Riverview's got another quarter and a couple of minutes to pull off what would have to be one of the biggest upsets of the year. Fans getting into the game now. 3rd and long for Duquesne. Here is Cook. Pursued, gets a block, throws out of bounds.
He got it. He got it.
Thought the ball was caught out of bounds, but it was caught by Bruce Davidson here at the near sideline and then going out of bounds.
He's going to be about a yard or two short of the first down.
So it's marked at the 24, and it is 4th and 2. Give a lot of credit to the quarterback, Cook, who threw under pressure. And once he did throw, he was jarred as the Raiders continue their pursuit.
Boy, don't go away. This thing is going right down to the wire, it looks like.
And Brian Davis is still hobbling on that foot. 4th down and 2. I'll tell you what, if the Raiders can hold here, the tailback is Braxton. The quarterback keeps it. I don't know.
He might have got, I don't know, where the official is giving him the mark. He may not have made it, Bob. I think he's going to come up short. He didn't get a very good spot.
Well, that's where the knee went down.
Well, he's going to get, I think it's going to go the other way. And he did. They held. The Raiders did. You betcha.
Riverview will take over at their own 23. Now, can the coach request a measurement?
He can, and that's exactly what he's doing, but...
Well, there would be egg on a lot of faces out there.
No. you can see that.
Joe, I know.
Marker Bob probably wants to give his team a chance to just rest up a little bit. They're short. Maybe by a yard. Yeah, they're short by at least a yard.
So the Raiders have the ball. First down.
Now, a nice drive here, Bob, that will consume about 5, 6, 7 minutes and finish off the third quarter, get into the fourth quarter by 2 or 3 minutes would be lovely.
First down for the Raiders, and it is Dapra off the right side, and a couple of yards to the 25-yard line.
It's a little over the 25.
Rob Regan is there. So give him about 2 yards, make it 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
Kappa keeps the football, looks for a break.
He got it.
In the openings at the 40. At the 45 and up near midfield, and Cook will bring him down. And assisted on the tackle by Rocco Scott.
Boy, I missed that number, Bob, at about the 30-yard line. He picked up a block and was able to cut inside, then back outside, and all the way to the 50-yard line. That close to it.
That could have been Rich Walsh.
First down, Riverview.
It's right on the nose of the 50-yard line. The first down for the Raiders.
2:14 remaining in the third quarter.
One of the guards, Eric Ewell, being replaced. Coming out with either a cramp or something. From the 50, out of the I formation. Kappa gives, nice play. Here's Dapra, 45-40, 35-30. Look at him go. He's down to the 30, 25. Down to the 40.
What a run. What a run.
Football, but I think before the play was made by Leftwich, the ball had been downed inside the 10-yard line. Looks like about the 6th or the 7th.
What a run by Steve Dapra.
43 yards on that play.
Driven out of bounds by Rob Regan. First and goal from the 6.
Good move by the Raiders on that call.
Run by Steve Dapra.
Well, a score here, Joe, might put it away. I think they'd need 6.
There goes Graham.
Up the middle for the touchdown. Justin Graham takes the handoff and goes in for 6. And the Raiders expand the lead to 23-6. And another injury has been reported on the play for Duquesne.
And a flag on the play also.
Rodney Ewer was injured, but he's up and he'll be walking off.
I think this penalty is going to go against the Dukes, Bob. I think it all happened after the play was over.
Orlando Belisario has the kicking tee, and
they'll assess it on the kickoff, I'm sure.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the
sure, Joe, if that penalty was called on Ewer. He's leaving the field limping. And then there's another Duquesne Duke. He's also banged up a bit, and he's got a bit of a hobble. Riverview will, as Joe had mentioned, take the penalty on the kickoff. So they'll move the ball ahead 15 yards and kick from Duquesne's 45. So Belisario set the kick. He's got a good leg on this one there. Another penalty flag throw.
Roughing the kicker.
Well,
or running into the kicker, one or the other.
So the Raiders increase the lead now to 24-6. And tell you what we'll do here. We'll take a break. And we'll return with more coming up after this. So the Raiders have increased the lead 24-6.
Now they'll march off that 15-yard penalty, Bob. In fact, there may be two of them. I don't know.
Penalty is being marched off against the Duquesne Duke.
That's one of them. Well, I guess that's it.
You know, during the break, I thought I had heard somebody say they had declined the second penalty.
Well, that was on the on the kick. It just the fact that the kick was good, they may have declined that one, but this one was that 15-yarder that was on that touchdown.
All right, here's Belisario ready to go.
This will go into. This may go to Verona.
It is deep.
It's in Verona.
And another touchback as Belisario kicks it into the end zone. And on the Riverview bench here at the near sideline, a jubilant group. Jubilant group for sure.
Davis ball really is limping, as you had indicated earlier.
First down and 10 for Duquesne at their own 20. And Cook is back to pass. Fires to the near sideline. It goes incomplete to Bruce Davidson. Covered on the play by both Kappa and
can't believe that one only took 2
Ben Erdeljack.
There was a minute 25 before that play.
Could have been a minute.
And I know he ran for more than 2 seconds.
A minute and 25.9.
Isn't that amazing? Whenever you're ahead, the clock is slow, and whenever you're behind, it goes too fast.
24-6 Riverview. Second and 10 for Duquesne. Late moments of period 3. Screen pass, and it is caught by
Kappa's over there with him. Yeah, Jeff Kappa. Not Jeff Kappa, that's 85, Jason Kappa. He trailed that one. He saw that one coming.
They lose the yard of the play. Yep. It'll bring up 3rd and 11 coming up.
And 3rd down and 11.
Third down and 11.
No, we're all right here.
Cook taking an awful lot of time again. The rush is on. And bringing him down was Mike Bigelow. Mike Bigelow makes the play and gets a welcome reception from Rich Walsh. This has been a total team effort this afternoon on behalf of the Raiders. A loss on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 16 right now.
Well, the clock may run out, Bob, here in the third quarter before
6
they
seconds.
get the snap off. Yep, they're going to let it tick away and come down the other end.
So that is the end of the third quarter. And Riverview holds on to the lead, 24-6. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter. Don't go away. Well, let's go into the fourth quarter. Riverview ahead. 24-6 is the score. The Raiders in black, Duquesne in white. If you've just tuned in, it's a surprise here as the Raiders lead it by 18.
And it's the beginning of the fourth quarter, 4th and 16, and the Dukes are going to punt. Kovar standing at right at the end line. Here is the kick. It's going to be taken by Ertlejack at the 45, at the 40, 35, 30, and down to about the 28-yard line. Duquesne Scott made the stop, and the Raiders are going to have excellent field position here from the Duquesne 27-yard line, and they lead 24-6. And who would have thought?
I was just going to say, if you were to ask the question who won the game today, and you were to say Riverview, you'd think like 14-13, 7-6, whatever, but they have a healthy 18-point lead.
Well, let me ask you a question, Bob. If Duquesne is the #1 rated team in the state, Class A classification, what does this make the Raiders?
Shall we ask AP and USA?
I don't know who the people are that vote, but the Raiders got 2 votes right here that they'll be #1 when this game's over.
Well, that's a given. And next week they will motor over to Springdale, and that will be our Friday night game.
When Chuck Wagner gets the results of this game, he may have a team meeting. What he's going to tell them, I don't know, but he'll have a meeting.
Timeout's been called by the Raiders, by the way.
The score would reflect a total domination by the Riverview Raiders, and this is a good football team. Maybe they're a little bit better than just being a good team.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Duquesne 29-yard line.
All right, ready to go. Jeff Kappa has his team ready. He gives off to Graham. Cuts in. Graham across the 25, and he's going to be tripped up at about the 22 or 23-yard line, and making the stop, James Kovar. So it'll be a gain of about 5. 2nd down and 5. Ready are the Dukes, or I should say the Raiders, as Kappa hands off again to Graham, and Graham fumbles, and I don't know. Yep, the Dukes have it again. The Dukes have recovered the fumble at the Duquesne. Well, where do they have it? About the 22-yard line. Rocco Scott was there. And the Dukes have the ball. Duquesne has the ball at their own 22-yard line. The clock shows just under 11 minutes remaining. And Coach Kappa pacing the sidelines, I'm sure, is saying to his assistants that they got to cradle that ball, particularly at this stage of the game, where everything is in your favor. All right, we're set at the 22. The Duquesne Dukes have the football. Vallejo Cook, the quarterback. And there's a flag. I have never seen a game move slower than this one. And flags, offside. How many times have you seen an offside call, Bob, against the offensive team? You probably won't see it 3-4 times a year. We've had 4 or 5 here in this game.
So they had 6 first-half penalties, and I don't have the chart here.
I think 4 or 5 of them might have been offside when they had the ball. All right, ready to go. They have it at the 17, their own 17. Cook is back. Cook rolls, looks, throws. He's got a man out there, and it's going to be incomplete.
Pass intended for Davidson.
Davidson, the intended receiver, and back on the coverage was Ben Erdeljak. I mean, he had him covered like a blanket. So it's an incomplete pass. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Set to go now as Duquesne comes out of the huddle and ready to put this one in play as Cook is set. Cook hands off right up the middle. Comes number 24. That's Braxton, and he's going to be stopped. Rich Walsh was there for the Raiders. And Zrimzak also there. So the ball is spotted at the 24-yard line. 3rd and about 9.
Zach Zrimzak also in on the tackle the last play.
And Bob, for a team that's behind, have you ever seen anyone move any slower than this Duquesne team?
It's like they'll catch the next bus.
Yeah.
But
all right, I think they're set. Cook and the Riverview.
Flag on the play.
Moved a little bit too soon that time. So they'll march off 5 yards against the Raiders.
Offside against the Raiders of Riverview. Ball on the 30. 3rd down and 3.
3rd down and about 3. We're approaching 9 minutes remaining in the game. 24-6 in favor of Riverview. You heard me right. Riverview up by 18. Cook rolls out. Cook has a man out there. It's complete to Davidson, and Davidson is going to go all the way. Look at this. Davidson goes all the way for the touchdown. There are no flags. No flags. And that one, I think, went something like, what, 71 yards. That play started at the 29-yard line. He caught the pass at about the 50, and by the time he got done, he was into the end zone. 71 yards, pass and run by Davidson. So the Dukes get on the board again, and it's 24-12 now. They'll probably go for 2. So I think they're going to go for 2. At least that's the indication. And the Dukes hanging tough. They could have folded up their tent and gone home, but they didn't. They're going to go for 2. Cook rolls, looks, throws, and it's caught. He caught it. Matt Taylor got the 2-pointer, and it's 24-14.
Guess what? Only a 10-point difference, and we're very early in the 4th quarter, but we'll take a commercial pause, and we'll come right back. Don't go away. Looks like about 8 minutes plus on the scoreboard. Kind of difficult to read in the sun, but now it's a 10-point game.
Score, Boston 21, 6.
You know, I was thinking again about those first half stats where Duquesne's net rushing was a -7.
Right.
That play there just made up for a heck of a lot of damage in the first half.
But the only difference is this was a pass play. The other was in the first half they couldn't run. So they'll spot the ball at the 40 and kick it off here as Dapra is back along with Tamburo and Erdeljak. Clock shows 8 minutes and 42 seconds. A lot of time. I don't know about an onside kick, but I certainly would look for it if I were the Raiders. Okay. High and short. Going to be taken by Tamburo. Tamburo. He almost broke it up across the 40 to 45 down at the 46-yard line. Good run back by Tamburo. Terrific run back. And they'll spot the football at the 46-yard line. He almost broke it.
Tackle made by Matt Taylor.
So, if it had not been for Matt Taylor, Tamburo might have had 6. Well, the Raiders need a couple of first downs here, Bob, for sure. Kappa pitches back. Dapra almost lost it. Oh, look out, look out. Uh-oh, fumble again. And there's a flag. There is a flag. Or did they? No, I think they threw the marker to indicate where it was fumbled. Bruce Davidson recovered the fumble. And oh, brother, this is getting serious now. This is getting serious. Dapra made a tremendous run. In fact, he was pushing his blocker out of the way. And as he tried to cut in, had the ball stripped at the 38-yard line of Duquesne. And that's where we're at. The Dukes have it.
They got their work cut out for them here. This is not going to be easy, folks. You've got the bulk of the fourth quarter to play. They're only down by 10.
7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the ball game. 24 to 14. Riverview on top. Here's Cook rolling right. Cook looking, throwing, and incomplete off the ground. That was trapped. So it's an incomplete pass. Erdeljak was there in case. Intended for Bruce Davidson. His ball's incomplete. So the Dukes cooking up a play here as they bring it in from the bench. Second down and 10. The ball at their own 39-yard line. And they trail 24 to 14. Cook is ready. Cook pitches back. Braxton breaks one tackle. Braxton is gang tackled at about the 44-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play. Graham was there. Erdeljak was there. Jeff Kappa was there. So a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be third down and 5. They'll spot the ball at the 39-yard line. Make it the 44-yard line. At the 44, they started this series on the 39. Third and 5. The clock moving. We're inside 7 minutes remaining. I'll tell you what, when this at the half, I thought this team was finished. But they have bounced back. That's what champions are made of. There goes Cook. He rolls to the right, looking, throwing. Intercepted! Intercepted by Jason Kappa. That might be time, Bob. That might be the time to start humming it up.
By the way, there was a terrific rush by the Raiders. Justin Kappa on the quarterback, and he is really getting up slow. He's on his feet now, but as he was just releasing the ball. He was hit by Papa, and I mean hit hard.
And we're down inside. 6.5 minutes remaining in the game. 24-14, Riverview. And I'm sure they'll take their good old time now. Jack coming out. Belisario, Orlando that is, going in. There's a couple of Belisarios there. Charles and Orlando. All right, here we go. Handoff. No. Kappa, Jeff Kappa keeps it. He cuts inside at the 50. Still there, still driving. A flag is thrown. It's going to go again. It's going to go. Oh, look at Jake Kappa out there in the field. Rocco Scott made the stop. They threw a flag against the Raiders, and Jake Kappa, the coach, went after that official. And I mean, he went after him and let him have a word or two.
I missed it.
So they'll mark this one probably 15 yards. Let's see. That's a third or fourth clipping call against the Raiders. Boy, Jake I can still see the red around Jake's neck. And they'll spot the football at the 31-yard line.
Ball on the 31.
31-yard line, first and 24. I think if I were the Raiders, I'd not worry too much about making 25 yards. I'd just take as much time as I could in between each play and run that clock down as much as they can. All right, here's the handoff. It goes to Dapra. Dapra picks up a block. Dapra still going. Dapra at the 35, the 40. 45, he's at the 50. Down inside the Duquesne territory, and he's going to be dropped at about the 29-yard line. What a run.
And Rich Walsh sprung a block back at their own 40 to get him loose up there.
Dapra did the rest.
53 is shaken up, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Andy Flaherty, the center of the team.
Well, what can you say? It's no big deal when Dapra does it. He does it on a weekly basis.
Joe, our final commercial pause. We'll do it right here. We'll be right back. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, we are.
Well, 24-14 is the score midway through the fourth period. And Riverview has just come up with a huge offensive play all the way down to the Duquesne 29-yard line. And Flaherty.
Andy Flaherty.
Coming off the field. He's okay.
I think he's something wrong with his eye, Bob. He might have got poked in the eye. At least it looks that way. He's got a little gauze there or something. But he is smiling, so that's a good sign. All right, ready to go. First and 10, the Raiders at the Duquesne 29-yard line following that huge run by Steve Dapra. He's some runner, this guy, I'll tell you. All right, set to go. Jeff Kappa has his team ready. 5.5 minutes remaining. Another fumble. And I think Jeff Kappa fell on it. Yep. Jeff Kappa fell on it. My goodness, that would have been the third fumble in the last, 5 minutes, Bob?
Plus the one interception they had in the first half, as far as turnovers go.
So they'll spot the ball at the 30. They lose one. Clock is moving. We are inside. 5 minutes now remaining. Kappa fumbled again. And he picks it up. And he's going to be dropped. And he'll lose a couple of more yards. Domi and Scott and Berry. Mario Berry there.
What a name.
So they'll spot the ball at the 32. They lose two more. One good thing about this, Bob, is that the clock is moving. 4:20 remaining. Third down and 12. I don't know what's happened to this Raider team here in the last 6-7 minutes, but they have been dropping the football. I think they've had more fumbles in the last 5 minutes than they've had all year. Kappa. He's going to be dropped at the 39-yard line. Let's see, who was that? Mario Berry made the stop, and they're going to kick the football. The clock is moving. We're down to 3:45 remaining in the game. Fourth down coming up.
Fourth down and 20.
So they're going to punt the football and play hopefully good defense and get out of here with a win. Looked easy there for a while, but I guess the old adage that says nothing ever comes easy. 4th and 20. Here is the kick. Good kick. High kick, and it's going to roll into the end zone. It's hit at the 5 and roll into the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and Duquesne clinging to, well, I guess, whatever hope they have. With 3:05 remaining, they're down by 10. From 24-14 in favor of the Raiders.
Well, they present another productive afternoon, Joe, in unofficially with 141 yards.
So what else is new?
So many other Raiders have performed greatly
They sure
this afternoon, even defensively. I mean,
They sure have.
your defensive unit ought to get a heck of a lot of credit for what's happening out there
Hold
today.
this team down the way they have. You're right. And the kicking of Belisario. There's an awful lot of, well, that's why the Raiders are doing well. They've got a good team effort going. He's going again. Look at this. My goodness. This guy can really ramble. Bruce Davidson, 6'1", 185 pounds. Sam Geffert.
First down.
2 minutes and 55 seconds. This is the quickest that Duquesne has moved all afternoon here as far as getting out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage. They had no huddle that time. Cook looking. Cook throwing. It's complete. Same guy.
Pass to Davidson.
And they get him out of bounds. It stops the clock at the 39-yard line. That's the guy they're looking for, Bob. Bruce Davidson.
That 2-minute drill.
Yep.
Second and 2.
Second down. And a couple of yards to go with 2 minutes and 40 seconds exactly on the clock. All right, the Dukes come out of the huddle and are ready to go. They need a couple of yards for a first down, but more importantly, they need to score. They're down by 10. There's Cook. Cook on a draw. Quarterback draw. He picks his, oh, look at him picking his spots, and he has finally run out of bounds. At about the 25-yard line, they get the first down. They stop the clock as well. So that run, well, double dose for the Raiders. They picked up the first down and stopped the clock at the same time. 2:32 remaining at the 25 of the Raiders. An official time.
You kind of sense that Duquesne is going to score here, and everybody knows what's going to happen after that. We'll have the old onside kick.
Well, I don't know.
First down.
I'm not guaranteeing. I'm just saying
I know you're not.
The way they're working here, the momentum is in their favor. And this has been a pretty long ball game here this afternoon.
It's 2.5 hours, well, almost 2.5 hours right now, but it doesn't matter. We'll stay here as long as we have to get a win. Not too many people left, Bob, in spite of the fact that the game was, well, fairly lopsided. If a 17-point lead is considered lopsided.
One of the reasons Bruce Davidson for Duquesne is so dangerous, Joe, is that he's got that fake. He'll, the quarterback, if he pumps once and then Davidson suddenly takes off, he's open, he's gone. So they're giving Davidson what they would consider the short passes, but he's been able to break some tackles.
He's never gotten behind anybody and went all the way. He's broken tackles virtually on every reception he's made, and he's got the canny way of getting it done. I can't believe, what is the holdup here anyway?
Could be a water break. Oh, there's an injury.
Oh, there's an injury. Oh, okay.
I beg your pardon.
All
okay.
Right.
There is
That's
an injury.
what happened. Okay.
And he's out over there at the 20. And
Malayo Cook.
Now, he has to sit out for at least one play, but
right.
This is a first down upcoming, so. Riverview next weekend. We'll go to Springdale. That'll be a Friday night game, and Comcast will be there to bring it to you Friday night at 9, Saturday morning replay at 10 o'clock.
I just don't understand this.
Well, he's in a line of fire, Joe. Although they're trying to get him up now, and he is. They could have an out-of-bounds play over there that could hurt him.
Isn't he out of the playing area? He certainly is out of the playing area. They shouldn't be holding up the game that long. All right, here we go. At the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. I should say the 25. Correction, 25-yard line. All right, here is Davidson. And he is going to be hit and dropped. Is that Braxton got the ball? Okay, Braxton was hit, and he was dropped back at the...
And Bruce Davidson acted as the quarterback that time. Now, Cook is back into the game, Joe.
One play, as you had indicated, Bob, he had to stay out one play. He did. And he's back in. And Bruce Davidson goes wide to the right, and that's the guy you got to keep your eyes on. Cook takes the snap, throws it. Oh, they got big number 15. They hit big number 15, Rocco Scott. And he got the pass, and then he got hit immediately. Duquesne takes a timeout with 1:49 left. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 11. 3rd and 11.
Well, what else can we say about the ball game? The biggest lead for Riverview was 24-6. It is now 24-14. And Duquesne threatening again here, but it's late in the contest. You're taking a look at some of the fans gathered around, and
they're not leaving.
No.
And you know that those mostly are Riverview fans. They're enjoying this, Bob.
Pretty good following. There should be a pretty decent crowd, pretty good crowd for the game next Friday night with Riverview at Springdale.
It won't be a good crowd. It'll be an overflow crowd, believe me.
So we'll have it for you on Comcast Friday night, 9 o'clock, and Saturday morning replay at 10. Okay, Joe, here we go.
All right, we got 1:49 left in the ball game. 3rd down and 11. The Dukes have the ball at the Riverview 26-yard line. All right, here we go. Cook rolls left. Cook looking. Cook throws. Got that same guy again, and he's almost in a position to break another tackle. He broke one, but not quite the second one. And I think he got enough for the 1st down. He did at about the 12-yard line. Clock is stopped until they get the sticks situated, which they have done, and it's at 1:35 now. Cook ready. Cook looks. Cook chase throws, and he's Davidson again. Could you believe it? This guy just can continually get open, and Ertlejack over there to make the stop. Cook threw that one, Bob, about 30 yards to pick up 5. But you got to do it, I guess.
And Randy Gilbert again putting pressure on the QB.
So the clock shows, what, 1:22 remaining following that out-of-bounds play there. Boy, this thing is never over. All right. Set to go once again. Cook is ready. Cook pitches back to Braxton. Braxton is going to be hit and dropped. Boy, Jeff Kappa was one of them. Who's the other one?
His brother.
That's his brother. They did a number there, and I saw Coach Kappa signaling for them to move, so the three of them got involved. There's Jake right there. He doesn't know how much time is left. He wants to get this thing over with.
What are they down to, Joe?
They're down to 1 minute and 16 seconds. That there is a well, there's no flag. Third down and about 5. Clock stopped on that out-of-bounds play. 1:16 left. Cook looks. Cook throws a long one, and it's too high. Intended for Rocco Scott. Belisario back on the coverage, but the pass was a little bit too tall, incomplete.
So this is it, Joe. Fourth down.
Fourth down. 5 yards to go. 1 minute, 11 seconds remaining in the game. Well, we thought for a minute, Bob, we didn't have to worry about a nail biter, but it turned out that it was a semi-nail biter. With a 10-point lead and 1 minute and 11 left, that's not really a nail biter. It's just a semi.
This is it.
And the fans are into it. All right, here we go. Cook is going to take it. Cook is going to throw over the middle. Incomplete. And the Raiders will take over, and they're going to win it. 24-14 with 1 minute and 7 seconds left. And, well, I guess all you have to worry about doing now is just holding on to the ball, and that hasn't been easy in the last 10 minutes or so. I know Coach Kappa
Especially in that area of the field, too.
Right. Coach Kappa had Charles Belisario here, and he was giving him some instructions, and I don't know what he told him, but I'm sure one of the things he told him was hold on to the ball. Who's taking a timeout? Duquesne? That made absolutely no sense. They still have 4 down.
Well, for PNC Bank, you know, we could do the MVP right now, Joe.
Right? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll tell you what. As Bob had mentioned before, there were so many outstanding performers in this ball game for the Raiders. But go ahead, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you what. We had about 5 players altogether, and a couple of them were defense on the defensive team. But it has come down once again to Dapro, who, well, unofficially over 150 yards anyway. So Steve Dapro of Riverview, our game MVP, in his 24-14 premature victory. Well, I'll tell you, you take a look at the game that even Orlando Belisario played, Joe, with a kicking game.
Oh, yes.
And some of the big defensive plays that they've had with Karras, and I don't want to just single him out, but there were so many that just kept up this intense pressure throughout.
Jack, as usual, another outstanding effort. He's in the middle of all the action, it seems like, all the time. So, as we had mentioned, quite a few of the youngsters there being considered for the MVP, but Dapro came out of there with it with his fine performance here this afternoon. Here's Jeff Kappa. He gets on one knee. Why would they want to stop the clock? I'm talking about Duquesne. I don't think they're going to stop it now. I don't know if they have any timeouts left. The clock is moving. Perhaps one more snap, and that'll do it. And the Raiders are going to pull the biggest upset of the year in the WPIAL. It might very well be the upset of a couple of years. You just don't beat the #1 rated team in the state on any afternoon, much less the one here. And the Raiders have really done a number on the Dukes. And another snap. Jeff Kappa down on his knees, and that'll about do it, Bob. We're down to 22 seconds. I don't think there's time for another snap. And the Raiders have pulled an upset, and certainly congratulations to the Raider team, Jake Tappa and his coaching staff. Go get him, Jake.
And we'll catch them next Friday night when they play out at Springdale. Be on the air at 9 on Friday night and Saturday morning at 10. That's going to wrap it up from Riverside Park. And thanks to the athletic staff here at Riverview for their accommodations and assistance to the Comcast telecasting crew. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Bob Tatter. Thank you for joining us on the telecast here today as Riverview wins and pulls a major upset in high school football. The final, Riverview 24 and Duquesne 14. Until next week, this is Bob Tatter again thanking you for joining us, and so long, everybody.